Hi, and welcome to BUS 355 Investment Analysis for the winter 2020. This is an overview video of the course and your responsibilities as the students and the main objectives and methods we're going to use to complete this course. So it's very important that you watch this video to the end because important information is dispersed throughout the entire video. So watch it to the completion so you get all the pertinent information. The first thing we're going to do is we're going to review announcements. So we're going to follow all these menu buttons here. And the first thing you should do when you get into Blackboard is read the announcements. I have a number of announcements set up, with the first one being how to get started and things you need to do in week one. So obviously week one you need to review Blackboard, read the announcements, register for the homework manager, which includes the e-textbook. Click on the Excel assignments link, which is right here, and download the first Excel assignment. Read over the syllabus and subscribe to the YouTube playlists. And there's a blue menu button for the playlist called Class Video Lectures. Okay, so that's just a quick synopsis on your first day what you should be doing. So let's look at some of the stuff in more depth. So the homework manager, an e-textbook. So the homework manager comes with the textbook, and this is where we're going to be doing homeworks for each chapter as well as the exams for each week for the course. So here are the basic instructions on how to set up the account, and very important is that you have this user ID right here to when you register for the account so you can connect to the course. Now, how you do this is you click on My Finance Lab right here, and that will open up the website, and then you click on Register as a Student. And you're going to need your email address, your instructor's course ID, which I just showed you from Blackboard. Again, that course ID is right here. Make it really big and bold. And then you're going to have to pay with PayPal or credit card. You register, and they'll give you a box here. And this is where you put in the course ID. And then follow the instructions until you set up the account. Okay. More on the homework manager when we get to it on the menu path. But let's just kind of move forward here. Okay. Next announcement is the class schedule. So the class is broken down into 3 distinctive weeks. Each week we'll be covering 3 classes or chapters. And at the end of each week there'll be an exam based on the 3 chapters covered for that week. So in week 2 we will cover chapters 6, 7, 8, have an exam. And the more about the exams when we get to the homework manager. But basically, I generally give you 1 full day to complete the exams, and I've listed the dates: January 10th, 17th, and 24th for each exam here. And then I've also, at the end of this course schedule, I've outlined the assignments. So the homework manager has these assignments due, and I also put the tests in here. And then Blackboard has 3 assignments that you're going to be working on, which are Excel-based assignments, which I'll go over when we get to that menu button. And all the grades are going to be put into the homework manager. We'll have a grade book, so all the grades, including the Excel grades, I'll eventually, by the end of the course, move over to the homework manager. So don't really rely on the grade book in Blackboard. It won't contain the grades. You're going to want to rely on the homework manager, which is great because it'll give you 1 overall average for the class. Okay. Let's see. Okay, so that's it for the announcements. And one thing that's important is that I don't allow for any late assignments. So be very careful of that. Okay, so let's move into the next menu button, Syllabus. So the syllabus is basically our guideline for the class, so you should read this over in its entirety. And it's important to keep in mind this is a 100% online asynchronous course. So which that means is that we're not going to meet in any classrooms. We're not going to meet together real-time online. It's all going to be worked on at the best time of day for you. So asynchronous is a 100% independent online course, which means when you get the chance, you watch the video lectures, you do the homeworks before the due dates. So if you want to work at your homework at 2 a.m., you can do that. Or if you want to watch the class lectures at 3 a.m., whatever convenient for you, you just have to keep in mind the due dates of the assignments. But as far as how you organize your time, that is up to you. Now, business analysis investment analysis. We're going to be looking at primarily evaluating stocks and bonds, options for this class. And we're going to be looking at the point of view as an individual investor, an intelligent investor for the course. We'll more into that when we get to the course description. And again, one thing that's required for the class is the My Finance lab with the Pearson e-text, which we covered in announcements. There's also some information here about that. So the learning objectives of the course are basically to introduce you to the world of investments. So the course picks up with the idea that you don't know anything about investments. So we're going to talk about stock exchanges, brokerages, types of transactions you can make as an investor. We're going to be looking at how to analyze stocks, how to look at bonds, the mechanics of buying and selling securities, how to create basic portfolios and what diversification means, stock valuation, international investing. So the expectation is that you become more familiar with the analytical methods of selecting an investment, get a little bit familiar with the both fundamental and technical analysis for selecting stocks, and we're also going to be utilizing Excel in a number of spreadsheets to help reinforce some of the computational aspects of the class. So the goal of the class is to apply basic concepts of finance that you learned in finance to investing, analyze and interpret financial data, and demonstrate a knowledge of investment management. So for you, as a student, you probably are going to like the fact that we're going to review stocks, and equities is the name that we have for stocks. So if you hear me say equities, that's really referring to stocks or common stock. In some cases, we'll be talking about preferred stock and the difference. We'll be talking about bonds and also options as we move forward. So the objective, that I have is to, give you a model for valuation, show you methods for understanding how a stock can be valuable, and through the textbook, the internet, Excel worksheets, lectures, homework assignments will reinforce these topics as we go on. As a student, what you need to do, of course, is make the time to watch the video lectures for each chapter, read the chapter, work on the homeworks and the assignments, and then you should have a pretty good overall idea of how we're going to achieve these learning goals as we go through the class. And then the tests, weekly tests, will reinforce what you've learned. Okay. The points for the class grade, tests 1, 2, and 3 are all 70 points. The combined homework is 90 points for a total of, this is the homework on the homework manager. And then we also have the Excel assignments, which are 100 points, and that gives us a total of 400 points for the class. If you divide by 4, you'll get the average of these points, or if you just look in the homework manager, an average percentage of your performance will be displayed, and that will be converted to a grade. I also have the class schedule here, which was also posted on announcements. So that would be a good thing to keep in mind. Just moving back up. So let's move over. I do have a link here to PowerPoints. So here you can view the PowerPoints the lectures are based on. Here is the link to view the video lectures, and this will pop you over to the let's just move this down a bit. This is our YouTube playlist. It's called Investing Class BUS 355, and here I'll have all the videos that we'll be watching during the class in order. So it'd be a good idea to subscribe to my YouTube channel, so that way you can easily get back to it and you can pick up where you left off in the playlist. And if I send any new videos related to the class, you'll get notification of that as well. So when I chose YouTube to house the video lectures, because it's much more flexible for students to watch on different devices and much more reliable service. Let's move back to the class now. Okay. So, and then I put the button here to make it also easy to access. And each week I'll send an email to remind you of what you need to work on this week, and I generally include links to these videos in that email as well. So there should be no confusion about how to get these video lectures, and there should be, I've had students watch these YouTube videos on their TV, iPads, iPhones, they've listened to them on their car radio, listen to them on their iPhone, or watch them on their iPhone while they're exercising at the gym. So it just really gives you a lot of freedom, this YouTube format, to watch these videos anywhere you choose on a multitude of devices. And I found that about 50% of the class watches the videos, and of those 50% who watch the videos, they generally perform much better on the class material. Okay, so let's move down to the next button here, Excel assignments. So we have some Excel assignments. It's very important to understand Excel and utilize what we're learning in the class in Excel. So a lot of the computational work in the chapters I've converted to Excel assignments that you can access right here. I have links to videos to help you complete these Excel assignments, because the Excel assignment by itself doesn't have a full set of instructions, so you should watch these video help links that go over the assignments. And of course, those links are also embedded in our course playlists. Here is the short selling and margin handout, chapter 2 handout. I've also put it here, so there's no confusion as where to get the instructions for these videos, for these Excel assignments. So what you do with the Excel assignment is you click on this link here to download the spreadsheet. And once that downloads, you open up the spreadsheet and you complete the assignments inside the spreadsheet. So here's what one spreadsheet would look like. You want to click on Enable Editing. If that's on the top, usually that prevents you from changing anything. And these yellow boxes is where you're going to fill in the answers and the formulas to answer these questions. And remember that each worksheet could have each workbook could have multiple worksheets. So here's chapter 2, and I put it in color so you can see it even more clearly. And here's chapter 3. So how do you complete these? You will generally have to watch the video instructions on what I'm asking you to do, and it kind of walks you through these spreadsheets. And once you're done, you want to save the spreadsheet to your local hard drive, and then click on this Excel Week 1 assignment up here. And then you'll see a button that says Browse My Computer, and then you can click on your completed Excel file to attach that, and then you click on Submit. Then I will receive your file and grade it. So we got one Excel assignment each of the 3 weeks. So you download, complete the assignment. Watching the videos will help you to complete the assignment, and then you upload. And you'll find that working on these Excel assignments is also beneficial for doing the homework. So when you do the homework on the homework manager, many of the problems will be similar to what you learned in these Excel assignments. So another way of reinforcing not only your Excel skills, but reinforcing the material in the class. So let's move into our next menu button, which is My Finance Lab Homework Manager. So here we want to click on the My Finance Lab. Click this. And we went over this before. You want to sign in as a student and register and connect to my class. I'm going to register, sign in as myself, and show you what it looks like. Okay, so once you log in, you're going to see Winter 355 Investment 2020. And this is our course home. We're going to be using the Assignments tab, the Results tab, and the Pearson eText. We will not be using the study plan. So in the Assignments tab, you click on that. The assignments will be listed. The first listing will list all the assignments. And here they're all set up and ready to be worked on. And there's also Take a Quiz Test. This is what you'll be clicking on the days the tests are available. So the tests are only available the day of the exam. So I don't allow you to work early on the exams, but want all the students to take the exams on the same day, to limit cheating and sharing of information, of course. So now, I also included a sample exam on Blackboard here. So if you wanted, this is of course not graded, and if you want to just get an idea of what the exams look like, you can click on the sample exam. And again, none of the questions on the sample exam is on the exam, so don't worry if you get these questions wrong, or they're just a few 10 quick questions just to show you when you start. It's going to say, are you ready to start? Click on Start Test. Now, what may happen as when you're working on the test, you'll see there's a clock. So once the clock starts, it doesn't stop until the clock runs out, and then you're done. You have no more time to work on it. What may happen to you, you might be answering some of the questions, and working on the exam. So I'll go to the next question, and then somehow your test closes accidentally, and then you have to switch to a different computer or reset your Wi-Fi. When you go back into the exam, it's going to say finish the test, and it doesn't mean submit the test. It just means go back in and start working on the exam. And then once you get back in, you kind of start off. You can start off where you left off, and then complete some of the additional questions. So as I walk through these questions, some questions will be problems that you need to fill in an answer. Some questions will be multiple choice. Some questions can be true, false. So as you go through, I'm just going to complete this. These are not the right answers. I'm just quickly clicking on these to get to the end. So you finish the last question, and then when you get to the last question, you're going to want to submit the exam. So when you submit the exam, you're going to get your score back. I got 30%, 3 out of 10, and you won't see this breakdown of what questions you got right and wrong until everyone's completed the test. So the next day you can go and actually review each of the questions and look at them and go to the reviewed test or go to the results. So that's how you would take a test. Pretty simple, right? Now the homeworks are different. So when you click on a homework assignment, you're going to get a series of questions. So when you click on a question, the most important thing to remember when you click on a question is if you're looking at the question, let me actually go to chapter 2. I'm going to do chapter 2. Okay. So let me start question 2. So we get in question 2 here. I'm just resizing this. Now what we see here is we see the question and then wants us to put an answer in. So we type our answer in and we can check. I let you check the question and you got it wrong. Okay, so what do? It gives you the formula you should be using. But if you get the question wrong the first time, you do get another 2 attempts to enter the question. So after the first attempt, if you get that wrong, go to question help and view an example. So this will give you a step-by-step example of how to complete the question. It's going to use different numbers, but it's going to show you the formula. It's going to put the numbers in the formula and show you how to calculate the answer and go through multi-step to the end to show you how the question should be answered. So then now, okay, now I know how the question is answered, and then you check and you got it wrong again. Okay, so at this point you only have one check left. So you got to remember, where is the rounding? That could be an issue. You need to round to the nearest dollar here. Some of them, they change. Some you need to round to the nearest decimal point or 2 decimal points. So you got to always read this blue here. So now you can go directly to the e-textbook here as well. So if viewing the example is always good, but you can actually go to the textbook and read where this information for this question is coming from to better go up. And then you can try your final attempt. And then if you get that wrong, it'll tell you what the answer should have been and what you answered, and then you move on to the next problem, the next part of the problem. So you can still get partial credit for this. You just have to move on to the next part of the problem, and then click save when you're done. And I didn't complete the question completely, but when I go back to, I'll see that I got that question wrong. And if you did get the question wrong, that's it. It's wrong. So at the very end, when you complete all of the questions, you can start the homework over again, but it's going to erase all of your previous work and you start back from scratch. So if you get a 70% completion, a grade on the homework after you completed all the questions, I do give the option to restart the whole homework. But that means it's going to erase all of your work and you have to start over from scratch and try again. So that's a possibility. I don't know, some people may choose that's too much work and just accept the 70 or 80% score, but I do give you multiple attempts to do the homework, as well as you get 3 attempts per question inside each problem. What you don't get is you don't get to start question 1 over before you've completed all of the questions. So you can't really go back in and try to restart a single question. The entire homework has to be restarted, which would erase all of your previous work and you start from scratch. So just to give you a heads up on that. Okay, so that is the homework manager, and that pretty much completes the video. So now you know exactly what you need to work on each week. So each week you're going to go in, watch the class videos, read the textbook, do the Excel assignment for the week, and complete the Excel homework and exam for the week. So pretty simple structure. I try to keep it well organized for this 3-week course. And of course, you may start the class early. The class is opening up on December 8th. So if you want to work early on the class, you could do everything early except for the exams. And this gives you a point of catching up a little bit before the hectic 3-week semester starts. I do let you work early if you want. Of course, I won't grade anything until the class starts. So there's always that option. I wish you the best of luck in this class, and I hope you achieve all your goals for the course. And I'll be talking to you soon. Thank you.